The process of starting to work towards fitness, it's very similar to the process of trying to save more money. Major differences would be that with fitness, you're allowed to have a cheat meal once in a while in the process of saving money, you cannot have an all-out spending. You can have an all-out cheat meal in fitness, but for spending, it's got to be like a little bit reasonable. Like, you can be a little bit less cheap if you reach a certain goal, but as long as you are in control of it. Fitness, you also have to be in control of it too. Where am I bringing this towards? Whether it's related to fitness or money saving, it's more realistic and more sustainable if you work towards one goal at a time, or just make one small change at a time. It's not sustainable to go from a guy who eats 3 fast food meals a day to 3 healthy meals a day, or a guy who works in an office all day and comes home and sits down watching TV all day, to becoming a guy who works in a labor job, or just joining a gym program that has to do with intense strongman or intense CrossFit. That's not ideal if you want to make that type of change. You can work towards it, but it takes time to get used to it. One step at a time would be more ideal and more motivating to work towards getting to that type of level. Similar to money saving, you don't go from a guy who's spending $1,000 a week on food to a guy who spends only $50 on food. It takes time to get used to it. Like, there's sometimes I'll make big changes, and there's times I'll stick with it, and then there's times I won't stick with it. Big changes are much harder to sustain it. Like, whether the change is small or big, it's going to be painful. But if it's a small change, the pain will be small. If you're doing this with fitness related, I would suggest pick either fitness or nutrition as a start. Assuming you're healthy already, then I would go fitness first. And then I would pick one exercise. So depending on the person, it might be just getting yourself walking. It might be getting yourself to do 10 push-ups, or do a basic full body program. And then getting used to the soreness. Working out 2 times a week, then working out 3 times a week. Then gradually increasing intensity. So if you're training from 10 to 15 reps and resting like 2 to 3 minutes at a time, try to decrease the rest time over time. Or get yourself used to lifting heavier weights. Instead of 10 to 15 reps, try 8 to 10. And then eventually 5 to 6 or 5 to 8. Same cardio. If you're used to just walking, try walking a little bit faster. Try adding an extra couple minutes. Throw in 1 interval, 2 intervals, 3. Eventually all the way up to 8 intervals. Make the intense intervals a little bit longer. Make the less intense parts of the intervals a little bit shorter. With diet, instead of changing all your meals, change 1 meal. Or make 1 slight change to the first meal of the day. That way you get it out of the way. So instead of going out for fast foods for breakfast, I would say try to make a slight modification. Try to eliminate the carbs at breakfast while still going out. Or if you want to save money, then try to have something at home. If you're used to spending, say, $1,000 a week, I don't know how realistic that is on food, then try to cut down a bit. Try to cut down by $5. So if that means you have to order 1 less dessert for the whole week, then do it.